Okay guys, start of my spring gardening. Right, I'm looking at a basil and it's a beefsteak tomato plant that I started from seed in my in-house seed starter that Jordan got me for Christmas last year. Petunias I purchased at the local Lowe's. Culantro on the right there. The big bushy thing on the right is culantro. Similar flavoring to cilantro and coriander, however, with a little bit more bitterness in the flavor. Those two little plants to the left of that are more beefsteak tomatoes I started from seeds. In the back there is a combination of oregano and chocolate mint. Yeah. Here I'm setting up my hydroponics table, ebb and flow system. So what we have here are hydroton, which is an inert base for the plant's roots to grow in. It'll be fed nutrients down below from a tank and then flow back out, drain back into the reservoir. I'll show you that later when it's all set up. I'm going to put some little seedlings I mentioned here. I got some parsley I started from seeds, some more basil, some jelly bean, small cherry type tomatoes, mild jalapeno plants, and another beefsteak tomato will go up in here. I'm going to put the same type of plants in soil back here. Those are bags of potting soil, and I got grow bags coming tomorrow, 20 gallon grow bags, which will be similar in size to these buckets here, so that I can plant these guys in them so that they can get larger. Okay. So let me work on the flood and drain table, and also these poles I put in are for stabilization of the plants as they grow with string or wire. I haven't quite decided yet. Okay. I'll check back in a few. Okay. Okay. Hey Bart. There's Barty Lou, our doggy dog. Bart, say hi. Okay, here is the hydroponics ebb and flow table. I've rinsed all the hydroton out, and that's important because there's a lot of dust and sediment from shipping of these expanded clay pellets. What I've got on top, you can see one side's black, one side is white, and it's called, I believe it's called Panda Film, and it's designed the white to the outside for me to keep the heat element out. Being that we're in Central Florida, we have a lot of warm weather. Also, the black side to absorb the heat. If you're in a cooler climate, it works very well. It keeps the my purpose is to keep the algae out of the hydroton pebbles and from growing into the water system, the nutrient water system. Okay, I'll get back in just a second. Alrighty then. What we have here is I've taped down the Panda Film with some Gorilla duct tape, some strong tape. I will probably need to reapply throughout the growing season. It worked fairly well last spring when I grew. What we have here is I've taped down the Panda Film with some Gorilla duct tape, some strong tape. I will probably need to reapply throughout the growing season. It worked fairly well last spring when I grew a variety of sweet peppers here. So we'll give it another shot. Now again, the covering is to keep out algae. Also, being this is an outdoor hydroponics ebb and flow system, flood and drain system, it will get rained upon. So this cover also keeps excess rain from getting into the nutrient solution and diluting the nutrients that we need to feed the plants. And I'll be back again. Okay, now we're going to insert the seedlings that we grew from seed, obviously. By taking I've got a straight edge razor, and I'm going to cut a slit, an X, into the Panda Film and gently insert my seedling so the roots get into the hydroton and stay moist, and that so the nutrient solution can reach the roots and nurture the plant for full potential. I'll show you how I'm going to do that right here. You can see I'm just making an X. The X is approximately in size 3" by 3". Get a look at that. And I'm going to put the plant in there, and then I'll take some foil tape to close the gap where I've cut into it, so to reduce the chance of any outdoor pests or rain getting into the reservoir. All right, here's the first plant. This is a beefsteak tomato. You can see into the slit I cut, I put the plant in, taped around it to minimize any again, elements getting in from the outside, as well as getting a little room for the plant to grow as the stem thickens. Okay, here are, so far, probably the finished product to start with. We've got Genovese sweet basil there. We've got the jelly bean cherry tomatoes there. We've got mild jalapenos here. Italian parsley there. I love Italian parsley. It makes the best chimichurri. And we've got beefsteak tomatoes here. Right, here's the empty nutrient reservoir, nutrient solution reservoir, and in it is a submersible pump. It stays underwater. Here's the electrical outlet. This tube feeds under to the underside of the table, flood table, attached to a nipple on the bottom of the table. This is an air stone. It feeds oxygen into the nutrient solution so that the plant's roots can get the oxygen that they need to thrive, which is run by a small irrigation, air pump, aquarium type air pump. But any inexpensive aquarium air pump will do. Probably get them for 10 to 15 bucks or less at Walmart or your pet store. Your submersible pump, I got this at Lowe's last growing season, and it was around 30 bucks or less, I believe. The air stone, this size air stone, you can get for a few dollars at a hydroponic store or at a pet store. Okay, and these are the only two electrical components running the system. Is a submersible pump, which is attached to a timer, which is set for different times throughout the day to fill up and then to stop and flood back into the reservoir. And I'll show you the hookup when I'm done setting it up. All right, here is the reservoir with nutrient solution in it. You can see the air bubbles from the aquarium pump blowing the air oxygen into the solution. The tube here going up. This tube here is going up. It's feeding the water into this table, saturating all of the roots of these plants and the hydroton with the nutrient solution. It then hits the overflow drain, and you can see it's draining out here. So got good action going on there. Here we are. Final setup of the ebb and flow system is done. I moved these two planters in front of the reservoir container to block the sun from getting to it, to keep it from heating up the temperature too much. I do have one of those laser thermometers to check, which comes in handy, especially in the warmer months. So we'll probably end up with this. Again, we have Italian parsley. We have the beefsteak tomato, tame jalapeno, mild jalapeno, Genovese basil, and the jelly bean tomato. Okay, and tomorrow we will set up our grow bags in the backyard over here. For those bags of soil, I'll put them back there and duplicate these plants in there and some other things I'm going to plant by seed, and we'll do that tomorrow. Okay, peace out.